Hey folks, welcome back. I got another turn here with Lemuria, and things are spicing up after our failed throne rush. I guess we'll call it a rush. It wasn't really a rush, but it was like a last throne snipe. We can call it a rush. So yeah, we're now fighting Pythium, and this turn is special because this is the first turn of the Pythium part of the war. So Atlantis, who has given up, I think, on fighting me in the field, has cowardly decided to sit in his fort and spam out Tuplix at me. So let's see how successful he was. One for Lemuria. One for Atlantis, so we're 1 for 1. 2 for Lemuria. 3 for Lemuria. 4 for Lemuria. We're counting scout kills as for me. 5 for Lemuria. 6 for Lemuria. Unfortunately, I don't get to keep my pet. 7 for Lemuria. I think that was it. So, yeah, he got one of my shitty commanders for, I think in their 5 gems apiece, cast it 7 times. So, yeah, I would say he got freaking wrecked. It's like 35 death gems to kill one of my free spawn mages, or priests. Whoops. Now here we were intending to catch the Queen of Air Elementals. Unfortunately, she has said peace. She cloud trapezed out. So our little, Robin is not going to end up making it. Well, I mean, he's going to be fine, but we're not going to... He doesn't get to put a notch on his belt, let's put it that way. So he kills the 1 PD. And then let's go back. Okay, so that was our magic phase attack. We searched for sites, we didn't find anything. We're getting to the point where it's pretty diminishing returns on site searching, but we're also getting to the point where like mage turns are plentiful, so it's worth still doing, I think, but not going to be finding much. So we've got a bunch of battles. Here we run into a spinta of plants. We're just clearing off our... We're playing like... we're playing whack-a-mole, but I'm trying to think of like what the game's like. Just like, what's going to be on top of my fort this turn? And this time it is the spinta of plants, which is actually interesting. Earth Nature's not a great path most of the game, but in the very late game it lets you do Gaia's Blessing, which is really nice. Especially on Calum. Calum doesn't really have a ton of nature, so I would say this is pretty valuable to Calum. Yeah. And these are okay anti-thug, because like we could potentially paralyze her, and if we paralyze her, there's a decent chance we win, but she has a shit ton of MR, so it's not going to happen. Mirror armor here, pretty clutch. It gives you +3. So I would say that was a pretty successful little swapperoo from Calum. I forget what he had on before, but it was something annoying. He sends these guys to kind of counter my rating. It's in a cave, so we have dark vision. Which means they're going to have a much harder time dealing with me, and then Hands of Dust works. We actually probably would have killed them all if we didn't run. Or we might have. I mean, we just took one unlucky hit and we die. Here we run into... well... We are raiding Agartha, which is under Calum's control. And I probably should have had a little better scripting because they could have jumped on my priest, which would have been annoying, but a lot of these are not the magic weapons troops. So they get properly wrecked. And then down here, yeah, he kills 1 PD, doesn't lose anything. And then here... Yeah, nothing special. And then here, Calum is taking back stuff from me. So I don't remember if I mentioned this last episode, but Calum and I make peace. I had basically sent him a message asking if he wanted peace after basically... I think I killed 60 to 70% of all his troops. And some of his mages, but not a ton. And he was like, okay. And from his perspective, it's going to give him more time. And fighting me is not going to be a path to victory. He needs to fight somebody else. So potentially, if he could win a battle against one of his other neighbors, he would actually be in a position where he could win the game. And by... Okay. Queen of Air Elementals here. So, Caleb did a swaparoo. He had something annoying on my fort. And, okay, no, not something annoying. He had a huge fucking army on my fort, which almost popped it. And then because it did not... we sent, well, we basically sent in Home Slice here, who was supposed to be spamming Wind of Death, but apparently thought better of it and said, this isn't a good person to Wind of Death. Which normally I get very upset when people do things off script, but in this case it was perfect, because we would have just wasted death gems. So, yes, a 21 MR super combatant against... And when I have friendly fire I can cause, probably best to not do that. So yeah, it refused to cast, which is interesting. I had no idea that it would do that, because this is definitely enough to trigger gem use. So that was the AI saying, this is the only time I can think of when the AI has said, no, bro, let's not cast that. And it was very good choice. So save me 10 gems. Thank you. AI. I would accept casting Wind of Death here. I would not have been upset if it happened, because I told it to. But I guess I will take it. Thank you. Over here, we just raid some Atlantis stuff, and we're about to have the money battle. It's coming up. Get ready. Here we're just fighting Miniads. Ghosts are so much better than Miniads. Miniads are really bad in terms of free spawn. I mean, they're okay just because they're free, but they're pretty bad. You can't patrol with them. They have, if you look at their patrol, it's negative 0.03. Just a lot of things they can't do. And then here... Wait, what? Oh, okay. This is moving towards Atlantis. So this is the... this is Pythium's army, which is going to come over here and conquer Atlantis while he's fighting me. And he's got a few of his cap guys. He's got a couple of these adepts of the Silver Order. And he's got some snakes. Some snaky snakes. And I would say he adequately kills my PD. Over here, we are raiding Pythium. This is our stealthy squad. I do forget that these guys are in Purgatory Dominion now, and so unfortunately a fair number of them get, where is it? Get wrecked. So we lose actually 10 of them, or 11. Or not, we lose 9, but 2 more get wounded, is what happens. Okay, we're around here. Here is a little interesting. We get dusted. I was kind of thinking I'd be okay, because Soul Vortex, in theory, can heal me up. I'm going to be above max HP, so I can take a hit from dust to dust. But when they rout, unfortunately there's enough skeletons on the field where it doesn't cause an HP rout for the mages, and so this guy dust to dust me. We take a few hits, but eventually we die. Now, the worst part of this is that we lost all the gear, of course. And this was a fair amount of gear. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then 40. 40 gems worth of gear. So Daikonkon, you've failed me. But not for the last time. And then over here, we bump into his super combatant dude, who apparently has some mage fluff support coming out, in case I sent a solo thug. And he's going to charge in. And right now it's looking like things are going to shit, but mixed among them, we have Drithil. And Home Slice has a Dusk Dagger and a Faithful. And he's on attack rear, so he's going to kill these guys and then scoot back and hopefully kill the mages, and then he'll come back in and finish the job. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Meanwhile, he's just killing all my stuff. Yoink, and yoink. Okay, and now he says, let's come back and get the King of Earth. And he can't quite find a way in. And he's not going to find a way in on the side, because unless some guys get, really well... Well, basically, yeah, he's only going to be killing him in tile in front. So we scoot in, and we have enough chaff and stuff filling up the tile that it's unlikely he gets hit a couple times in a row, which is what it would take to kill him. So, and he has enough fire resistance that he's kind of set. And he's got Profuse Bleeding on the King of Earth Elementals. And so he's basically getting wrecked. Unfortunately, we're not able to do more than 20 damage per turn, really. So if we look at his health, it's at 107. We'll put it forward a few turns. He's at 111. So we're barely not able to outdo 20. I was thinking we would, because this is going to hit him every time, and this is 21 damage, and then this will hit him for some damage. So I don't know, I was thinking this would do enough damage. And we've got the bleeding happening too. Let's actually check. Let's see what happens. I wonder, does it show only attacks on him, or does it... Yeah, okay. He's not fatigued out, no. Hits him for 11. Oh, it's Temper Flesh that's fucking me. Well, that explains it. Anyway, we don't quite do enough here, which is unfortunate, but... What are we really gonna do, huh? So we don't actually kill him, but we kill his mages, and it doesn't really cost us much. So that is okay. Coming down here, he runs into some PD, and I think his... I can't remember what causes all the friendly fire. I think it's the Hydras. Yeah. Yeah. So excellent. Over here, we bump into Atlantis, going on top of his fort. Over here, we are running into Pythium. This is right near Marignon, the land that I had given Pythium. And then over here, we are attacking Atlantis. And then over here, Calum is attacking me. And then this is the big battle. This is my welcome to fucking Lemuria army. Oh no, you're gonna kill me. But we put up mass protection. So we've got kind of hard to kill ghosts. He summons some air elementals. Excellent. He starts stealing my ghosts, because he has, on his side, we should properly introduce him, a huge fucking communion. So just entirely mages, surrounded by a bunch of eagles on guard commander, and he's going to enslave mind, enslave mind, enslave mind. Which would be bad if I sent this guy out alone, but what I know is I know that the AI is going to preferentially target my ghosts with 12 MR compared to my Grand Lemur with 28 MR. AI really does not like targeting 28 MR with MR negate stuff, because it's like a 1 in 400 chance of it working. Because it's going to be, like, for Enslaved to work, Enslaved Mind, it's going to be a roll of 28 versus 8. It's a really, really low chance. It may not be quite that low, but it's low. And they don't have penetration bonus or anything, I don't think so. But we're casting Wind of Death. We've already hit some of them. You can see like this guy is decaying. Unfortunately, I also hit... Oh, not yet, but I think I hit her this turn. Yeah, she gets hit with decay this turn, and that will be the end of her. And all the enslaved minds coming out. You can see he's stealing all my ghosts. And we get one more cast off, I think. There's a final little farewell. And all my ghosts are getting stolen by enslaved mind. And at this point you're thinking, well, fuck, Lucid. You know, your ritual of returning and all this stuff isn't going to matter if he gets enslaved. And mortality is not going to matter if he gets enslaved. This is like the ultimate counter to you. To which I say, I only have 21 protection. I'm about to be surrounded. As soon as I get hit. And so he, you know, does he survive? Yeah, but does he survive many? He probably survives 30 or 40. So there's a chance they get him. And then he gets hit. Now, this is why we do it, guys. This is why they pay us the big bucks. Are you ready? That is why we do it. Oh, yes. And then look at the damage. 6 of the adepts of the Silver Order dead. All of his good leaders, so all of his like good leaders for troops, dead. This lady survives. One of the Heliodromuses. Let's check real quick. I want to see if they had the little fire blessing on them. This guy does not. This guy does not, okay. 19 of the Misties. These were important for giving everybody poison resistance. 1 of the Renatus. And then 8 of the Revelers. 1 of the Serpent Priests. And this is the big line item. All these Therogs. They're not terribly expensive individually. But, I mean, look how many we killed, guys. 27? That's a lot. That is a whole lot. Great Eagles, this is the other important line item. We killed 18. We killed 18. And a lot of these guys were on Guard Commander for different mages. I'm not sure which ones. Because he didn't want them, like, flying in and getting killed if we had a big battle. They're just here for siege strength. But because a lot of the mages died, they're not going to be lending their wonderful siege strength. And if we look at how much they siege for 16 and a half, 17. I think I'd said 18 in the last video, but yeah. So they're dead. The total siege strength of what is left, it's going to be another, there's 18 that are, or not 18. Yeah, 18 that are left. So 18 times 10, 180, and then 8 more times, yeah. They're probably at around, like, these still are about 300 siege strength, which is not nothing. It's significant. But I don't think they have enough to pop my fort next turn. But we'll find out. But I don't even know if they can fight me anymore. They've lost so much here. Now, they have the 2 Queens of Storms. Or the 2 Queen of Air Elementals, so we'll have to figure out what we do with them. And he stole some of my ghosts, so this is a silver lining. The other silver lining for him is he was complaining to me a little bit previously when we were kind of allied, that he was having upkeep issues, and you know he's too poor, and upkeep was hurting. So when you add all this up, it's about 7,000 gold of stuff. And so with all these guys off the payroll, he's going to be much more free to recruit the types of mages he wants now. In case he didn't want these types, he could get different types. So that is the silver lining. But he was thinking, yeah, I don't know. He was thinking, like, okay, we're going to come in. Lemuria's bragging about being able to hide inside their forts, and and all these other noobs can't kill him. So time for me to come in and kill him. Well, he wasn't saying all those things, but he was thinking them. Deep inside his soul, he was thinking them. And I would say that, yeah, he's going to have a very hard time against me now. So many mages. It's hard to come back from this, I think. What's he going to do? Here... Oh, I thought I pulled my guys out. Oh, whoops. I actually need to pause and send a message to Satis. So, I sent Satis a message saying apologies, and I don't think I even saw this until just now. I told him I'd send him some gems as payment, so I think we're going to send him... I'm not going to send him death. I'm not going to send him earth. I'll send him some fire gems. And then let's send a message to him. Sorry about Ashlands. I didn't get to my turn after we... Okay. So anyway, sorry about that, buddy. He had said it, I think an hour or two before the turn hosted. So I think it's kind of understandable, but I think I agreed to it before the turn hosted. So I was like on Discord, but I hadn't come back to check my turn. Anyway, that's unfortunate. So that was Ashlands. Oh, and then we have a battle for the Bogarus fort. There's nothing inside. And we have a battle for... okay, this is kind of epic. So Gath is coming to finish off Bogarus, who has Heidi Hold up in his capital, as is appropriate when the huge Gath army comes at you. And he has a bunch of... a few astrologists, a bunch of alchemists, and some occultists. So let's see what Bogarus has scripted for his final go out. Now, if you're playing against Sakane, what you should know is that Sakane almost always, if he can, is going to fly over fort walls. He really does not like walking through forts, which is a very smart thing, and most players should do that. But Sakane is just very good about it. You can count on him doing it, if you feel me. So he fog warriors up and flies over. And unfortunately, there's not enough guys on Guard Commander. I think if you're Bogarus, you A, want to put up Storm, but B, you probably want people on Guard Commander. And you just want to have a mage battle, because he has better mage support than Sakane has. So if he did that, and then he had some Skelly spam and other things to kind of just clog the gate up, and he had Storm so they couldn't fly over, he potentially could have held. But, I mean, once these guys get on top of your mages, it's... Bad news bears, they're very killy. Yeah. The other thing that's important is only these gibbers have magic weapons. Everybody else just has normal weapons. So, as soon as I get Army of Gold, these magic these Seer actually aren't a problem. So the way Gath scales, I mean, they'll still be able to hit me, because I'll be at like 20-something protection, but I'll be dodging a quarter of these attacks. And the solar weapon part, which like would normally hit on all three of these attacks, and normally each solar weapon would be enough to kill me. Because it's going to be like 9 AP damage, which will get a check against fire resistance. none of that is going to take effect. So these guys are basically, the solar weapons is going to be gone. The withering weapons will still take effect, but I'm going to have pretty good MR. Like in a long fight, I'm still going to lose some stuff to it. I can't remember if ghosts get old, because potentially if I have mass regen on, it could counteract withering weapons completely, which by the time we fight, if the game gets to that point, then, which it's looking like it will, the withering weapons won't matter. So then it's just going to be these guys attacking me with, you know, pretty good damage, but they're only going to be hitting 1 in 4 times, and then a hit won't even kill most of the time. Because I think on average I have like 8 or 10 HP. And then also I can Fog Warriors versus these guys. And Fog Warriors should work. It's only going to be the Gibbers I have to worry about. And the Gibbers are going to be very, very limited in terms of just the sheer quantity of them. So I think actually I'm going to be fine versus Gath. Army of Gold's so important because he could firestorm me a bunch of things. But anyway, we're going to be pretty resilient to that stuff now. But as for Bogarus, Bogarus was not very resilient. This is a pretty crushing blow with very, very minimal attrition. So, well played Sakane, and well played Bogarus. Bogarus held out like a champ. Yeah. He was just so crippled after fighting me. It took him forever to get the other forts back because they're on opposite sides, and then, yeah. What a champ for trying to hang in there, but I just thought it's an uphill battle. And that was the last of Bogarus, so he's been permanently vanquished. So anyway, that is it for all the happenings and events. I mean, the happenings and the battles. For the events, we get attacked by barbarians. We get water gems, some gold. Some people get diseased and cursed. We don't really care. We get foul spawn, which is nice. And then here we get attacked by these barbs from that event that I read out a second ago. But we got a scout that said the barbs were coming. And so fortunately we have Valik. And Valik don't give no fuck about barbs. Oh, he didn't bless himself? Fuck. Whoops. Okay, he got blessed, thank God. He actually could die if he didn't get blessed. But he doesn't need the other stuff. The blessing's the only really important part for this. He's got 2 weapons, or no, he's just got 1 weapon. If we look at the script, or not the script, the battle log, we can see awe. Awe is pretty effective. Aw. So if Valik gets a few more kills, keep him up there in the Hall of Fame. Right now the combat speed for Valik, he's got 126 bonus, and so I think that means he attacks at least twice per round. So that's nice. And we cleared these out. So we've got a 2 for there. Got some scouts. So, let's zoom out real quick. What is happening? Well, we've made peace with Satis. We're at peace with Gath. Atlantis is getting eaten by now Pythium. Pythium has decided that Atlantis is dead and is going in for Atlantis' cap. We are going to have a thing or two to say about that. And I want to, let's go in real quick and look at these armies again. So he's got this one with a Fairy Queen. 1 second. See, Fairy Queen. No gear and no gems, so I'm a little confused. Anyway, this I would categorize as a weak army. And he's got this, which is interesting. He's got this King of Fire Elementals. He's got a lot of fire gems, presumably for something like Firefend and Firestorm. Which would be a problem. He's also got this lady who has... The fact she has a luck amulet makes me think he's got her scripted to Magic Tool. And she's only Astral 1, but If you're twice born, I would know it. But anyway, I think he's going to magic duel with her, but luck does not prevent magic duel. Like, magic duel goes through luck. So I think he's going to have a rude surprise. Nevertheless, it's a good counter to me being able to just send in a Grand Lemur, because they could just magic duel it. But it's only one guy, and we're going to send in a Grand Lemur. Robin, you have been deployed. You've been called for this job. We're going to send him in with a Firebrand. He's got 3 native astral. There's a pretty good chance he survives a magic duel. Though not good enough, I'm going to risk 2 pearls on him. So, yeah. We don't really need this either. We can probably take this off. We don't really need this either. We're just going to send him in with this. Bare minimum gear, because there's a decent chance he gets magic dueled. But we'll send him in here. And the thing is, what do they have? If we look at this, it's physical damage, non-magic. A few Hydras we don't care about. This guy who can maybe do Starfires or something. This guy who, I don't know what the fuck he's going to do. Maybe Phoenix Power and then drop some fire spells. And then this guy, he's going to do Firestorm or something else dumb. So not a very versatile army, but he's probably thinking like, okay, well, Lemuria can't send a big Doom stack into me. Well, that's right, but we're smart Lemuria, and smart Lemuria isn't going to send the wrong tool in for the job. We are going to send in the right tool, and the right tool in this case is you, Robin. You are the tool that we need. And the script for Robin is going to be Unholy Blessing, Invulnerability, Soul Vortex, Unholy Protection, Unholy Power, and then Attack. What is this going to do? Unholy Blessing, obviously we're doing this always. Invulnerability, we got a lot of physical damage coming in. Good. Soul Vortex, there's going to be some things that are not lifeless around, so we're going to leech a lot of health off them. Unholy Protection, always good to have. And then Unholy Power, it's going to make sure we don't take many misses. So all in all, unless we lose a magic duel, there's no way we're going to lose this fight. And it's going to be Astral 1 versus Astral 3. And Astral 3 wins a pretty good amount of the time versus Astral 1. It's basically a straight up dice roll where he's going to have to roll, well, to kill me, ignoring whether he dies. He's, like, if he rolls a 1 or a 2, he automatically loses. So there's a third chance he just loses outright. If he rolls a 3, I also have to roll... No. If he rolls a 1... Yeah, a 1, 2, or 3. Okay, if he rolls a 3 and I roll a 1, then he gets 3 plus 1 and I get 1 plus 3. And so that'll be a tie and we'll both die. But that's a very low chance. That's like a 1 in 36 chance, because he has to roll a 3 and I have to roll a 1. But, I mean, there's more ways we can tie than just that. You know, he could roll a 2 and I could roll he could roll a 4 and I could roll a 2. When you add it all up, I think the odds are going to be around, like, a 20% chance of him killing me. I could be wrong, but that's just kind of like, because I played with the tool a bit. And I think that is about what it is. I've got it pinned in my Discord. Let me check. Okay, so I went and checked, and it's I think a little over 25%. I have this thing that just does a Monte Carlo of it, but it is something you can find like the actual, value for pretty easily. Somebody had a cool tool. I couldn't find it, so I just used my janky Monte Carlo one. But yeah, I'll risk 25 gems there. Or not 25 gems. We're risking 20 gems. And we have a 75% chance of basically killing this army. And a 25% chance of dying to Magic Duel. And that's only if he actually scripts Magic Duel, which I think he is, but I'm not sure. He didn't do it in this other army. But maybe he gets woke after this bad fight. So anyway, we've got this going on. He's trying to vulture Atlantis's cap. We are not going to let him have it. I've got too much in this area. Atlantis is basically dead. Don't think it's going to work out for him. So anyway, we've got that going on in this theater. And then over here, this is not looking good for Pythium now. I'm basically going to go hit his whole backline real hard. We're going to go raid basically everywhere. 100 ghosts should be able to kill these guys if they don't have much mage support. But of course he could have mage support, and then I'd lose 100 ghosts, which I don't really care about. But if nothing else, it will reduce Maenad numbers. Meanwhile, we'll hit this, go ahead and knock these temples down. He does, I think... Yeah, he's knocked my Dominion strength down 1. I'm not really... I guess it's from the Revelers, who are mostly dead now, but he's got 1. He's got 3, so he's got basically a guaranteed... Oh no, he's got more. He's got 5. So he's going to have a couple heretic things kind of happening. And we've got this queen to deal with, and this queen's actually a bitch, because she's got a Ring of Returning. So it's kind of... Queens are actually one of the things that do pretty well with Ring of Returning, because you put up Storm Power. This was actually kind of the trick I was going to do with her. There are ways to kill her. We can target her MR basically with Mind Hunt, Soul Slay, etc. Which actually maybe I do. There probably are scouts here though. Hard to say. 21 MR is definitely targetable though. I might actually do that. We might try to Mind Hunt her. Mind Hunt's one of the ways to get her. The other way is basically we can try to enslave her in combat or Soul Slayer in combat. The other final way is I could try to hit her really freaking hard with a Moonblade, and that will kill her. Moonblades in general do like 30 damage, but she's got 23 protection. But versus magic beings, it's going to double, so it's going to do like 60, 70 damage. If we stack strength, we can get it up to like 80 damage. But it's going to be minus 23. So we really need to be at like 70 minus 23 will do it. So we need to get up to the base damage to be like 35. And then we have to hit her. So we're going to need to be able to survive Firebrand. We're going to need enough MR to get through Vine Shield kind of reliably. We're going to need to be able to hit something that's 22 defense. You know, it's not trivial. It's not trivial. This is a pretty difficult chassis. And you get one shot to kill her before she gets Ring of Returning home. So... this is a tricky one. It's annoying, and this is basically exactly how I was going to use her. If I stole her. So I think this is the best way to use a Queen of Air Elementals. It's really annoying. It's so hard to deal with. But on the positive side, she just wasted a bunch of air gems and didn't kill anything really of consequence. So minus 5 air gems. But like it's reasons like that I can't go on the offensive against Calum, because I don't want to expose big stacks to dumb shit like that. And I know this player. I know to expect this shit from him, right? I haven't had a major defeat against Calum yet, and that's because I know. I mean, he's hit me with some thugs that, okay, the thug, look, that thug that killed like a few hundred of my guys, he got so fucking lucky. So I don't even consider that a major defeat. And I didn't lose any majors, whatever. He's killed like 1,000 of my troops. But that's why we're not trying any of that shit. Now, what we probably do want to do is I do want to get on the... oh, man. Five pin. That's pretty good. So he's 21 MR? Let me do the math. Okay, I looked it up, and I think it's only an 18% chance but I think the math works out. It's worth it. So... Oh, I do need a hat. Fuck. God, it's going to be even worse if I have to use crystal coin. Ideally, I have like a ring of sorcery for this, but I'm afraid that is not in the cards. Not teleport. Mind hunt. Get the fuck out of my house. So, best case now... let me check again. Yeah, so best case, it's a 15% chance now, because I had to take off the one of the penetration items. So, that's pretty borderline for like whether it's worth it. But... I mean, if we look at how much investment this is her... Or how much of an investment she is. She's 50 gems. And then her gear is 10, 20, 30, 45, 50 gems. So she's 100 gems. So I think it's worth it for me to cast. Because I'm spending 3 with like a 15% chance of killing 100 gems. And I can steal her back. Which I would want to do. So... We're going to cast it. Let's see what her name is real quick, so I'll know when the next turn. If we get Thuella and the Mind Hunt, we're going to be happy. But it can be worse, significantly worse than 15%, because there's a very good chance there's a scout here. So it's very likely it's going to be closer to like 5%, where it's not really worth me casting, but we'll give it a shot. You miss all the shots you don't take. And I kind of want to discourage him from using it. Now, the other thing we have to deal with is this idiot here on this front. And this is Firebrand, Star of Heroes. Oh, wait, I forgot. He's here. Well, he's not here anymore, but that's where he was at the beginning of the turn. Okay, no, not Firebrand. Ice Sword, Star of Heroes. Budget kit. So we need to kill him. I want to have some chaff, and I want to have... well, let's just look who we actually have. Because I forgot, now that he doesn't have a Firebrand, I don't actually think I need quite as much. I think I'm actually going to switch it up. I think I have one Skelly Spammer. So Meadmaker's coming in, and he's going to do Power the Spheres, Horde of Skeletons, cast spells. And basically he's just going to unleash a lot of fucking skeletons, because he's going to boost the Messenger, so it'll get, you know, a nice little bit of regen. He's going to be Death 5, so it's going to be a lot of skeletons. He will outcast, I think, the skeleton people they have there. So anyway, he's teleporting into Wake. And then we've got... more idiots. We've got Pencils with the Moonblade, and Pencils with the Moonblade is meant to do most of the really the heavy hitting. Now let's go ahead and figure out, because we need to be doing 20 damage around, and I haven't actually done the math, but he's going to be hitting for 35, and this is going to get jumped up to 70. But then, let's go ahead and pull this up. I don't think the math actually is going to work for me. Okay, so it's going to get bumped up to 70, but then it's going to hit 30 protection, which is going to knock it down to 40, and then it's going to get cut in half to 20. So this is not going to do it alone, but it should, because the cut in half is going to be from the slash resistance. But it'll get kind of close. So we're sending him in, but he's not coming in alone. We've got other partners in crime. We're going to have Penethus, or whatever, come in. Power the Spheres, hold. Air Elementals, Living Cloud. Boom! This will kill the Skelly Spam casters in the back. And these guys are going to be very good against him because he has shock weakness. So I think this in conjunction with pencils is going to be enough. I believe. I'm a believer. And then also this guy, where are you? How the hell am I not able to find any of my stuff ever? Weren't you? Okay, Mead Maker. Yeah, I think it was Mead Maker I was clicking on. He's going to be Astral 4. So he also potentially can Soul Slay and Enslave Mind when he goes off script. And we have improved AI casting on, so he's going to like those spells. But he's also going to like Court of Skeletons a lot, so I don't know what he's actually going to choose. But I could... I was going to say I could Eye the Void him. We're not going to. So... Ooh, we can make an Eye of the Void, though. Do I have another hammer? Oh, I do have a hammer I'm not using. So let's make an Eye of the Void. So anyway, that's going to be happening down here. And the thing is, even if he runs, which I think is a pretty high chance, well, I've got all the provinces around him dead from Magic Phase running. So he's going to be in deep shit. And I've got enough Earth Gems, I can summon him back. And then if he gets afflicted or whatever, I don't care. Because I can put a recuperation thing on him. One second, my dog wants to go out. Okay, so... back from letting my dog out. We're talking about killing him. We were talking about sending him in. Sending Mead Maker in. I'm sending one other. Who is it? I think it's some idiot way over here. No? I wish there was like a Y for teleport. It's one of the reasons you have to like sit down and do your turn all in one setting. Because it's really easy to forget, once you're kind of in a big game, who you Magic Phase to where. Okay, this guy, Vince Song's also going. Pyrosphere, Sword of Skeletons. I might do him advance and cast spells. That will mean he can like potentially life drain and stuff, which could put us over the threshold for killing him. So Vince Song teleporting to Wake also. So we've got 3 Grand Lemurs coming in. Should kill him. We can then steal him. And that will be that. Yeah. So that's basically this front. We're also just going to be raiding around here. Leave one guy on top. I'm going to go raid over this way. We actually probably should do like several rows. Attack flyers. So. And then where we're really worried about getting this guy jumped, I think we're going to do box. Holding fire flyers. I think this will be okay. So that'll start giving us control of this region. We're getting to the point if Caleb fucks up and makes a mistake, we can take Agartha from him. And if I take Agartha from Caleb, I think it's going to be a good game, because then we're down to like nations which don't even counter me that well. And honestly, Caleb doesn't even counter me that well anymore. It's more not like his troops don't even counter me, because I'm like 3 or 4 turns away from Army of Gold. And at that point, his troops are irrelevant. And then it's really just a matter of the spells he puts up, which is basically Wrathful Skies, which is annoying. It'll still wreck my armies. So, we'll see. But anyway, it is not looking like Caleb is going to defeat me. The issue we have is this fort is still pretty broken. It's at 200 out of 500. So he potentially can one-turn pop me again. Or he can one-turn pop me if he moves this army back on. And I think that's what he's going to do. Because I think he's like, hey, you know, you're not going to come fuck with me because I have this. Well, surprise, I one-turn pop you, and then I switch again, and I get your army. And I'm like, well, do you know that I know you're going to do that? Because I'm going to come out like this guy isn't here, and we're just going to spam Wind of Death. And this time it's going to be worse than the other one because I have 5 pin instead of 3. And these guys actually, like, these Eagles have pretty good MR, 14. But his fuckers only have, like, 11. Or these guys might have more, 12. They're all going to die. Every one of them's going to die. If he comes out. So if I catch him, you know, like, how does this play out? If he decides to move this group on top, then he has no hope of taking any fort from me in the remotely near future. If I misjudge and it's just the Queen of Air Elementals, which, like, he would have to have a scout here with gems, which is totally possible, but if it's just a scout with gems, then, yeah. I mean, if he has a scout with gems here and it's just the Queen of Thunder, then, like, okay, God gets sent back to my base. He doesn't even die. Like, I'm going to keep all the gear. So, anyway, this is, I think, going in my favor. And then over here, we are sending in the Jamin again to do the same thing, except only 2 Winds of Death, because it's a smaller squad. And we would do... I don't want to do Eye of the Void. I really need all the MR I can get. And we're going to do Unholy Protection round 1 to make sure we get the Jamin all MR'd up. And then we'll do Unholy Blessing and then Unholy Power. And then we'll be in business. But yeah, he is in a world of fucking hurt now. I think he's going to retreat, in which case we're going to bump one of my armies and he'll kill one of these small armies on the retreat. That is what I expect to have happen. But if he stays, because maybe he's like, well, I might have enough if I reorganize my Eagles to pop, we're going to hit it again. Now, he could kill me with Magic Duel, but I don't know if he has Astral Pros. So, I didn't see any when I scouted around and looked at all the commanders left at the end of the battle. But, you know, he could bring them on scouts. So, and he definitely, I mean, with cheap Astro Mages, he could definitely keep me from ever doing any of this shit again, which... because we've killed so many mages, we can now take them in a straight up fight, so I don't really have to worry about it. But if I really have to worry about it, then I have to go for enchantment and get lictors. I mean, I could get, not lictors, liches. I could do Wraith Lords, but liches are better for this purpose. And, yeah, basically I want to get liches, which cannot be cast underwater, which is kind of a motherfucker. It may be better to get these guys because they respawn faster and I can cast them underwater. In their conjuration, I have a bonus, 20 bonus. So that'll be 8 gems off. So it'll only be 32. It'll be about the same. I don't have to change my research priorities. So I get one of these guys. I empower them in air. I can't magic phase around with them, but they also can't be magic dueled. So these could potentially... be what I'm going to need once the Magic Duel spam comes out. So we'll see. There's a very good chance I lose all this gear, and it's a fair amount of gear. Like that, the Rune Smasher is 20 gems in and of itself. So 20, 30, 40, 45 gems. So it's a fair amount, but I don't really want to fight his army right now. So I would like to encourage him to get the fuck off my fort. And I think this is a great way to do it. The other thing, and the reason why I cut this script down, is because I don't have Ritual of Returning on. So, you know, if we get sent home, it's... Or we're not going to get sent home, we have to actually retreat. I think that is about it. Yeah. Mini Colossus, I'm not sure what to do with him. These death mages over here, we're really getting out of the point of the game where these guys are going to be good solo operators. They get mind hunted, you know, they get enslaved. They're really now just either thugs in an army or apostasy spammers. So I feel bad, but we're just going to have him sit here and call Shade Beasts. And then we're raiding all over here. I already talked about that. What I didn't talk about is he's got these idiots over here, the Spenta of Plants, and he's got another small raiding squad over here. And I did not talk about what we are going to do with them. And what we are going to do is we're going to cast Earth Attack at them because fuck you. So I tested it once, and the Earth Attack should, in a test case of n equals 1, it killed Spenta of Plants, and I felt that was good enough. So we'll roll the dice there. Not sure if that will work, but over here, it's almost guaranteed, I think, to kill these guys. Let's see if they have bodyguards. I don't think they've been doing bodyguards. Yeah, no. So that's going to kill them. And I think having Earth Attack come out is going to be like a bit of a shockwave, because then he's not going to be able to do light commitment rating to take stuff back from me that I take from him. He's going to have to send, like, you know, it's going to be heavier commitment, or he's going to have to do scout shenanigans and other things. So we're just going to make it very expensive for Caleb to keep fighting me. And ultimately, hopefully, force him into doing some desperate shit. That's kind of the goal. Here, he's got the King of Magma, 170 dudes, which that's probably like 300. He could pop this because it's only 250. So we'll have to see. If he comes out to pop, we can go hit him with Wind of Death pretty hard. I need to make sure I have, speaking of which, we're also casting Living Castle here because, well, it'll help me push my Dominion into Sacane's land, which I think I want to do. Force him to Bloodsack to push his Dominion back. And then, yeah. Also prevents us from getting raided. So we're going to do that. But do I have, how many Rune Smashers do I have? I don't have any Rune Smashers at the moment. It's a little annoying. But I've got this, and I think I'm making an Eye of the Void over here. Forging Winged Shoes. I think I'm going to make an Eye of the Void. The Winged Shoes would be... No, I kind of do need Winged Shoes. We'll make Winged Shoes. What are we doing in Lemuria? I think we'll have him make an Eye of the Void. So, yeah, we're making an Eye of the Void. I forget where I'm getting him. I think over here we're getting... I thought it was here. I'm getting one more Grand Lemur somewhere. I forget where. We're basically getting one a turn, and occasionally we'll get two. But yeah, we got shit on lockdown. So I think that's it, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. Come back and see me next time.